I think there was just an instinctual ability and desire to, first of all, move my body through space, and secondly, figure out the best and most efficient way to do that. So I think that was the two things that really gravitated me towards studying dance. Back then, I don't think it was because it made me happy. It was just something that I needed to do. Dance is the only thing in my life that I would say I have made a decision and I didn't second guess it. And then it never occurred to me to do anything else after that.
I think I was really drawn to dance because it felt like the most natural thing for me to communicate. You know, I didn't have to think about what I was going to say or how I was going to say it. To let myself move was a more natural means of me communicating. I also want to feel emotionally and personally connected to the concepts of why I'm dancing. I don't want to just jump big because I love jumping big. I want to jump big because it means something.
You know, I love that I get to move my body and feel free and expressive and tell a story. Ever since I was a child, that was always where I was happiest, was in the studio and dancing, and it's always been more comfortable for me to move than necessarily talk about what I'm going through. But I don't know that there was ever that moment where I was like, yes, this is what I have to do, or was it, I think it was just in the cards.
My name is Shana Simmons, and I am the artistic director of Shana Simmons Dance. We just recently formed a nonprofit organization as of February 2017. So it's an exciting time for our company because we're kind of formulating and fine-tuning what the vision of Shana Simmons Dance is. I really believe in what's lacking in our society is kind of this artistic outlook. So I think that in the future, Shana Simmons Dance will want to empower people to be creative in their workplace, in their bodies, empower people to be movement forward and movement oriented. That would be one of its visions, is getting rid of the inhibition to move our bodies, to have fun while doing it. You know, all those things are really important, I think. All three of us had originally developed separate pieces in response to either an emotional experience or something that we wanted to explore, thinking towards the future. We talked about how something is missing. It's the loss of something that is common in these three works.
They all have this hopeful desire for finding peace with whatever you're struggling with. You know, I think it's going to feel emotional. It's going to feel like it resonates with everyone that sees it.
I am Jamie Erin Murphy. I'm the choreographer of Me Versus, which is an exploration of struggles with identity. You know, in different parts of your identity, you can fight yourself, you can fight others, you can fight your thoughts, your feelings. It's you versus this whole world of figuring out who you are. There's a section that we call layers. And in that section, we come out in multiple layers of different flesh tone fabrics, and we start to explore these different layers that each of us have. The parts of us that are really important and that we hold true to ourselves, and there's also parts of us that sometimes we're afraid to let go of, that unknown, but you know, sometimes it's really important to let something go to be yourself. I think that posing questions about people really stemmed a lot of where the work has gone.
I'm Brady Sanders. I'm the choreographer of What Remains and also one of the co-creators of The Missing Piece. what remains has really been me trying to reflect on what it would be like to forget the person that you love. You know, I think about it with my parents, I think about it with my husband. That fear and lack of control over what might happen to us in the future, I think has really been a driving force. My mom's grandmother had Alzheimer's disease. My mom's mom had Alzheimer's disease, and my dad's mom had Alzheimer's disease. In my experiences with my own family, my grandparents referenced the past a lot. So that was really kind of where this inspiration for moving backward came from. That you're always wanting to be in this time that isn't now, that was from your past. You know, and there's also a section of the work where the vocabulary is really inspired by losing someone. So that person is losing the original phrase, they're no longer able to complete it, and another dancer is supporting them through that and trying to help them remember this phrase that you've seen throughout the whole piece.
Stop was originally created as a solo in 2016, and it was a response to a friend of mine, her boyfriend committed suicide. I started thinking about why someone would choose to do this. One suicide every 12 minutes occurs in the United States. In the world, it's actually much more. So we took this number 12 in the beginning of Stop to indicate kind of that time frame and how every 12 minutes someone stops their life. The other point of that is that it affects more than one individual. A lot of people are affected by this. So that's also by using multiple bodies and replacing the same phrase with another dancer. That's kind of the point that I was trying to make is it affects a lot of us. But in the end, you know, the point is that the support of that individual that's struggling with these ideas and struggling with depression, the support network is really what gets people through and pulls them out of the muck, you know.
All three of these topics are really isolating if you allow them to be, or you can find community and support and find that you're not alone. And I really think that that is the through line that we've been finding from identity to Alzheimer's disease to suicide and depression.
Hopefully we are able to walk away from the missing piece and realize that it's really about being compassionate for one another and showing that we can support one another even though we're going through different things.
I really feel that the missing piece in particular is a true collaboration between minds. None of this would be possible without us three individuals.
I am so grateful that I'm doing this with them. To have them there for support, to laugh, to cry, just to have each other, to bounce ideas off of. I could not have done it without them.
You know, there's days that in all three rehearsals, you know, we've all cried and we've all laughed and we've all kind of experienced all of these emotions together. That trust and that compatibility that we found has really worked its way into this piece. And so we're hoping that in this process, we can do a little bit to help what's already being done on these ideas.
We see violence and depression all the time, and we never see hope. And it's actually not the sadness that is difficult, it's the hope that's difficult to watch. Maybe it's not emphasized enough in our society, you know, so to see it is almost shocking. So maybe that's why it's difficult to watch and wonderful, you know.